Oh, I forgot my tea. Okay. I get the question all the time, John, should I work for a small organization or should I work for a large organization? Now I'm going to frame this within the context of working for tech companies specifically. And interestingly, I get a lot of people who are already working at really large tech companies who say that they are interested in making moves to smaller organizations. And mainly they say this because they think that they're going to have more influence, more impact, what have you. But there's no guarantee of that. And I think it's important in corporate America to optimize for earning potential because you are trading your time for dollars. And I feel like no matter where you work, you're going to work hard. And actually, if you're working for a startup, you're probably going to work twice as hard than in corporate because you have to wear many hats. I've had 2 startups. I know that feeling. And every employee has to bear the burden of a lot of different roles to fill gaps because there's funding constraints and other things, and there's just a lot more pressure, right? Like if you screw up in a small organization, people are literally going to get fired, right? Like you can't just be like, oops, we blew $2 million. What did we learn? It's like, Bobby's getting fired tomorrow. Another thing that really sucks about working for a small company is that if there's 20 people or 100 people or like 300 people for that matter, let's say you're in a product manager role. Well, there might be 3 product managers in the entire organization. And Bobby literally needs to die for you to get a promo, right? Like that's what winds up happening in these little organizations. So that's why it's always difficult for me to understand, like, what is the motivation? I mean, personally, if I was, coming out of an MBA program, if I was coming out of college, and or whether I'm midway through my career or at the later stage of my career, I would be very hesitant to risk the idea of going to a very small organization purely on the premise that you would have more impact or you would get to learn more. I think that when you're in a large company, you have more politics, no doubt, when you're in a large organization. But at least there are thousands and thousands of people working there and thousands of job opportunities within the organization that you're already in. If you don't like your role, you can move around. In a lot of these large tech companies, and they're kind of like handshake deals, right? Like you have a coffee chat with somebody, they go, we really like you, and then they make an internal decision to move you over there, and then you give 30-day notice with your team. So that's a common practice with some of these organizations. You would never have that flexibility when it comes to a small company. And also the pay, 9 times out of 10 is going to be way better at a large organization. It's something tangible. It's something right now. Sometimes these small companies, they try to sell you the dream. Like, oh, we're in our Series B or we're in our Series C and we're about to get another round and like things are going to be big. It's like, okay, cool, that's great verbally, but nobody knows that that's actually going to happen, right? Like nobody knows what the percentage chance is that that's going to happen. And so I'm looking for like those dollars right now. Like I don't want to buy into like the dream necessarily because a lot of these startups fail. Unless the only caveat here would be if the organization is really having rocket ship style growth and they're getting a ton of press and they're a really hot company. Okay, fine. Like maybe it's worth the risk of getting paid a lower salary, but just making sure that you're getting a crap load of very low priced shares of stock because you're banking on a lottery in a sense to say like, wow, man, like this thing in 3 years, like if things are going well, then essentially I could become a millionaire, right? Like, great, do that, but take a very calculated bet on a situation like that. Like do your research, and I'd say that scenario is like the golden unicorn. We kind of see the stories about the rocket ship growth success of a company like Amazon or Facebook over the years or Google or whatever, and we kind of get clouded into thinking that like a lot of companies have this happen, but many organizations are failing more often than the success stories that we're hearing on the news. But these are just my opinions, so take them for what they're worth. Just use it as a data point along your journey. That's all I got for you. Have a great day. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, got a lot more content coming for you on careers and also on the topics of having the right mindset when it comes to your career, because the more and more I talk to people, the more and more I realize that the number one thing that's holding people back is actually nothing to do with their skills, nothing to do with their resume. It has everything to do with their mindset. So, all right, talk to you soon.